Welcome to the United States of Formula One. Nicky.
Cookie.
We actually get to talk about Formula One today.
We have some Formula One news, information, new rules.
7 of them. Some don't really make sense to me, but some do.
Okay.
I don't. We'll get into
7 new rules. Some are subtle. Mm-hmm. Some I think are kind of big.
Yes.
I think at the end of this we rate what our favorite and least favorite new rule is. What do you think?
We can do that. It's
okay.
Gonna be hard. So let's get into rule number 1.
First new rule change.
Now, fastest lap. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Do you like this?
No.
I don't either.
I loved it. Now, so obviously you all know fastest lap of the race, 1 point. As long as you finish in the top 10 and you qualify in the points, you get a bonus point. Now, there was some guys that would run new tires late to get the fastest lap, and they were in the bottom 10, so it was more just out of spite or to steal that point from someone already had in the top, but
I think
strategy.
I think that I think a lot of it has to, when Daniel Ricciardo put on tires and got that fastest lap to take a point away from Lando.
Yes.
When they were really close in the championship hunt.
To help out his boy Max,
I think that's a part of it, but I don't like this rule.
Okay.
So.
Rule number 2 change. Driver cooling system. Explain.
Okay, so we're going to go American. So at 31 Celsius, which is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So 86 degrees.
So smart. Nailed that.
I had to Amazon it. I had to Siri, Alexa it. One of the two. That's Boogie, doesn't know. So essentially, if it's too hot out, they have a new cooling system that gets equipped to keep the drivers cool.
So it's not for the car, it's for the safety of the drivers.
Yes.
So this is the equivalent of like when my kids were 4 years old and they were playing Pee-wee soccer. Mm-hmm. And like it wasn't even halftime break. And they're like, mandatory water break. Those little boys are going to get too hot.
Well, they're driving sometimes I get it. They're driving sometimes like Singapore, I think.
I know, I'm playing.
Lost like 10 pounds during the race. I'm probably exaggerating. It's not that much. But I think it's a good safety system. I think I'm a little confused on... so now, this will not be in practice. This will not be in qualifying. This will only be for sprint and races.
Well, practice and qualifying, you can be in and off the track real quick. So this is just sprint. We're going to be out there, say, 15 to 20 laps. Obviously, the race, 60 laps-ish.
Yeah. So what I didn't get, though, was... And you tell me, is this set before the race, or is it all of a sudden it hits 86 degrees and maybe it's a little too hot and we're 20 laps in and now all the cars have to come in?
I agree. Now, it didn't say if it hits 86, it has to happen. It says they can.
Yes.
So it could be 90 degrees and they're like, well, there's only 10 laps left. Just let them run it out. So it's kind of up to the director to decide what they want to do. Yeah. But I think it should be something, if they're going to do it, say before a sprint, before the race, everybody get it installed.
Yep.
We're doing the cooling system for this race. At the 21st lap, arbitrarily to say everybody in.
Yep.
And then what does that do? If you had a big lead, do you maintain the gaps, or what do they do on that? I think you'd have to maintain the gaps. I think it would be a cluster.
I don't think it would be good at all. I think it would have to be a pre-race decision. So, and that's going to add weight to the car. So at the end, they weigh everything, and everything has to weigh up to spec. And they will up that weight if they have to add this cooling system.
Okay.
So that won't matter.
Okay, so
we'll see how that one goes. 3, limit testing for old cars.
This one I was a little confused about. Yeah. But what it seems like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, is they have old cars, not years old, but maybe they bring a couple cars to the track and it's an older one that they're not going to use for the race. Mm-hmm. They're using that during practice. They want that to be limited. They want actually your car that you're going to use in the race to be used. And what was it? 1,000
kilometers.
1,000 kilometers per season that you can use an old car on the track.
Yeah.
What's your justification for that? Do you understand? I don't understand the reasoning at all. Put it in the comments because we're stupid.
I don't believe that this is going to... We're not going to know this isn't going to affect really anything that we watch. So
maybe this is related to the new rule, which we'll get into next, with the rookies required to do a certain amount. Maybe they were sending rookies out in old cars and they won it. I don't know. I'm trying to justify it.
That one confused me. But to get to that, rule number 4, rookies will be test driving in FP1 in each car instead of twice a year, now 4 times a year.
So FP1.
FP1
So
only.
in practice round 1.
Yep.
they always required that for a team, there had to be a rookie from that team, whether they're an F2 or a reserve driver, but they're a rookie. Liam Lawson's still considered a rookie.
Yep.
2 times during the season.
Yep.
Could be in either car.
Yep.
Now they're saying each of the 2 cars for the team has to be run twice by a rookie. So minimum 4, 2 for each.
Yes.
What's your reasoning for that?
To just put the rookies to get more time in that F1 car, because the difference between F4, F3, F2 is substantial. So
do you
it
think
just gives them more experience? I kind of like it because you get to see those rookie drivers and how they handle that F1 car.
I think as a fan, it's great. Do you think that they're making that rule change so the fans see these rookies excitement-wise, or do you think it's safety so that the rookies get more reps out there in a race-like atmosphere?
Could be a little bit of both, and it could be also so that the the team principals can see that rookie maybe a little more often in that car, just to make a decision on if they're going to do a mid-season driver change.
You think the team principals would want to do that regardless. Why does FIA have to come out and say we're mandating this now? So I think it's probably more of a safety, like get these guys some time and let's get some youth out there on the track.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need Sergio Perez's out there forever.
Rule
Rule change number 5: restrictions on DRS.
Yes.
Now, DRS is going away in
26
anyhow, so this is just for 25 season. The whole flappy flap on the rear spoiler.
Yep.
Obviously, in a DRS zone, within a second, you can engage it, you're allowed. Otherwise, it's closed. You don't get that airflow.
Yep.
This is, what do you're claiming this is the...
This is the McLaren rule, in my opinion.
Okay, I agree. So it's kind of like a Tom Brady rule. When somebody's kind of cheating the system a little bit, they have to tighten the rule a little bit. So in this case, they're saying McLaren on straightaways with enough speed, that flap was opening just a little bit.
It was giving them like a little mini DRS.
And at that speed, with these cars as well designed as they are, they were getting a little bit of an advantage. So they're saying that thing needs to be locked up tight,
open or
wide
shut.
open. None of that little fluttery action from McLaren.
Yeah, so
I like that.
I don't mind that one at all. So going to 6. Are we on 6 already?
We are on rule change number 6.
So this stems from Sao Paulo, Brazil, last year, where we almost did not have a qualifying.
If you remember the huge downpour, that was the race. Then it rained a ton during the race too. So we had on the podium, they were both from
Alpine.
And
Max Verstappen went from 17th. I believe it was 17th first.
Yes, so he still won, which was crazy. It was just chaos, but he's a great driver. He can handle the rain. But Alpine, who hadn't been on the podium all season, gets a 2 and a 3. So because of the conditions, almost didn't have a qualifying, almost didn't have the race. So they're saying if it comes to that we can't have qualifying, how are they're going to still have the race.
They will have the race, but it'll go off of a points, whoever is leading basically in points. So if you got Max Verstappen number 1 again, then he starts the race number 1.
So the only issue,
unless there's like a grid penalty.
Or something else. But so the biggest issue would be if it happened in the first race. Unlikely. Maybe they have something in there for that. But races 2 through 24, if wherever you are in the standings leading into that, that's your qualifying. So I don't mind it. It just says they've been the best racers. This is where they've been so far. But it's unlikely that they're ever going to use this.
No, it's very unlikely. And I think they got scared last year because of qualifying.
They had nothing in place, so they're like, what do we do?
We have to make a rule now.
Okay.
So.
Number 7. Final rule change. It's a mule car tire test.
Yes.
A mule car. Now, I know one type of mule that transports things in locations that are weird, but this is a mule car tire test is for...
Oh, that kind of mule, okay.
Yes. Or the type that takes you down the Grand Canyon. But this is for Pirelli, specifically for Pirelli and the safety of the drivers, and explain.
So this is the last year that we have this car. 2026, we have a new car. It's a smaller car, and the tires are also going to be smaller. So basically what there is going to have a mule car, it doesn't matter what it is, to be able to fit these smaller tires for next year, basically for Pirelli to test these tires.
So it makes sense that they're changing the size of the car, hence why DRS is going away. It's kind of a whole new vehicle. We'll do a side-by-side at one point so you can see the difference. If you just looked at it independently, I don't know if you'd notice a huge difference. Side-by-side, you can see that it's smaller. So the wheels are smaller, tires are smaller. Pirelli in the Abu Dhabi race. Final race of the year in 25. They just want a test. So, like, let us get a good test in live conditions.
Oh, yeah.
That it's not going to melt because it is a smaller tire. We've been producing the same one for however long.
Yeah, and we don't know. The tires could be, because right now we got soft, hard, medium, wet, intermediate.
And then that could all change. And then all those grades within it.
Yep.
You know.
So that can all change as well. So we won't know until 2026, but we will do an episode.
That's Pirelli's job.
Yes.
That's why they want this research, a little R&D at Abu Dhabi. So, of these 7 rule changes, you tell me first, what is your favorite rule change? I know mine.
I will say my favorite one is going to be the rookies.
Forcing the rookies to get out there?
Yeah, I would say that's my favorite one.
Okay. My favorite one is the restriction on the DRS. I know it's ridiculous, but I hate when people find cracks in rules and use it to their advantage and they can't get punished for it when they know it's more of an ethics thing.
Yep.
Turn that ethics into a law. Let's make it a rule. And I'm not saying they were cheating because it wasn't a rule, but I think it was kind of bullshit. So I like that they're pulling that away.
Just to let you know, every single year, because these teams are trying to get a one edge up on the next. Every single year, something.
I get it.
Something is going to happen with the teams where they're going to find an edge
and I get
try
it.
to push that limit. There always is.
It's 100% the Bill Belichick, always finding cracks in the rules. So I just like that they're saying you'll find more, but this one is no longer usable, at least for this year, because DRS is gone anyhow.
Yeah.
So you like the rookies. Forced to race, I like the DRS being more strict. What is your least favorite rule change?
I am going to miss the fastest lap.
100%. Samey. I knew you were going to say that.
Yep.
Easy. That's easy.
I loved it. I love the fastest lap.
We're doing the exact same thing right now.
24 extra points a driver can get if they say they won every single race, but that's 24 points gone, potentially. And the funny thing is, this is gone in F1, and NASCAR just implemented the fastest car lap.
So F1 says bye-bye.
NASCAR says,
we'll take it.
Yep.
And they're allowing it for anyone.
For any car.
So even if you finish 20th in NASCAR, you still get that bonus point, whereas in Formula One, it was only the top 10.
Yep.
And now it's not at all.
Yeah,
I don't
understand why they're taking it away. It's been there since 2019. Keep it. We love it. They might bring it back.
It's just a little bonus point. I think it's kind of, I don't know that 1 point's going to change the standings, but I think it's great for maybe even a driver that is a kind of a Kick Sauber type driver that's like happens to finish 9th and then they also get the fastest lap. Give them a little bonus point.
Yeah, I'm going to miss that coming up on the screen. I don't know where it's fastest lap. Watching that little purple thing going up and down. I'll miss it. I'll miss it.
You did see that, yeah. But there's so much information they're trying to pack into the side of the screen. Maybe they were just saying it was overwhelming, but there was just a little ticker.
Oh, well. Well, Let's see. I can't wait for F1 to start.
Very soon, but you now know the rule changes for 2025. Love ya.
Follow us on YouTube at the United States of F1, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at United States F1. Copyright Brugman Media Limited 2025.